Hey guys, before we get into today's video, I just wanted to give a quick plug to my comic book Killreaver. It is currently in demand over on Indiegogo. That means that you can still back it. We have 48 backers, and we're so close to hitting the 50 backer count. Here's a little bit of artwork from the series. This is the free trading card that everyone who backs the book will get. If you back the Killreaver #1, the color cover, it's $15 plus shipping. I think the total comes out to $22. You get the extremely limited edition Killreaver #1 comic book, plus the free trading card, all shipped to you, to your house or wherever you want it shipped. Whatever address that you put down, it will be shipped to. And here's a closer look at the cover to #1 with art by me, colors by the amazing Matt Yackey. If you're not familiar with him, he's a wonderful colorist, and he did a great job on this cover. Everyone that has seen this cover seems to think it is amazing, and I do too. And here's some more artwork from the comic. We're working on the coloring right now. This is just the black and white interior art. Some random pages to whet your appetite. This is a color piece. That was a promo piece I did before. Here's some more interior art. And things coming together very nicely. I'm really excited to get this book done. And I'm excited to continue the story in Killreaver #2. So, not to get too ahead of myself, but #1 has been successful. But we could always be more successful. And that's where you come in. If you want to get in on it, you still have time. So, please check out the campaign. It's Killreaver #1 by Randy Siplon on Indiegogo. And let's get into today's video. Thanks, guys. Hello, and welcome to Comics Illustrated, episode 7. And this is going to be the second part of my Gen 13 Ordinary Heroes series. And this is issue 2 of Gen 13 Ordinary Heroes by Adam Hughes. And I did a video where I went over some photocopies that I had of some sketchbook pages by Adam, sketches that he was doing in preparation for this series. And that video was, one of my more popular videos, so I decided to include a look at the actual comics as part of my Comics Illustrated series. And we did the first issue, and now, as promised, here is a look at the second issue. And I also have a little bonus section after we take a look at this, where I will go through some additional sketchbook pages that I found in my stash. So that'll be pretty cool. So let's take a look at it. Here's the cover, the second issue, and this is a very classic, iconic Gen 13 cover with Caitlin Fairchild in battle against a creepy looking liquid monster thing type of deal. And you can see there's some skulls in it, all kinds of miscellaneous tech and wires and stuff. It's basically just like a blob type of monster that kind of just engulfs everything and and kills it. A classic horror monster type of creature. So, all right, we're gonna open it up and start off with a nice splash page, and she's the monster. And in the first issue, it ended with this monster showing up, and um, there was a a robot, like a mech type of robot, with a pilot inside it that came in that was fighting this monster. And I mean, this is a great splash page, beautifully rendered, excellent background. Here's the monster behind her. She's trying to help save this guy. We turn the page. We got a good panel with some nice cars. The monster's flinging a car into the air. That's pretty cool. So she's dragging this guy away to like save him, but the monster grabs him, and he lets go. His fingers slip away, and down here you see him getting engulfed in the creature, and he's screaming to his death, and then he's, his skin is burned away like in a matter of seconds, and he's a skeleton. So she's got super strength though, so it probably can't hurt her as easily as it can a regular person. So she's like backing away from the monster, and it comes in and touches her. She screams, but she goes flying up into the air, and then she finds the rest of Gen 13 up on this building. Adam, one of his strengths, his many strengths as an artist, is facial expressions. She's going to be sick here. You can tell by the face. She's about to puke, and then she pukes. And a nice puke sound effect or word, or is it sound effects in comics? I don't know what they call it. I think it's onomatopoeia. But awesome lettering. And I mean, even like this panel down here is like I said before, every panel, there's some crazy glare on this comic because it's printed on really nice paper, but it doesn't really make for capturing on camera. But yeah, just this I love his textures. I said in the last video, this leather jacket textures are some of my favorite. Oh crap, my pens are flying around again. It happens every video. I don't know why I just can't like clean up before I make a video, but whatever. It's like every time I knock the pens around. All right, so here's some more pages. Like I said, the facial expressions, that's a pretty exaggerated one. But Adam, obviously one of his main skills as an artist is figure work, and it's on display on these two pages. I mean, look at all the beautiful figure work. This is a Hammer Squad is like the name of the group of mech pilots that come in to fight against this monster. And like I said, I haven't read this comic through in a while, so like the story is a little bit, I'm kind of just remembering as I go. But we're here to look at art, and this is some amazing art. Every panel, like I said before, is like a complete illustration. Adam does not skimp when it comes to doing comic his pages. He puts his all into everything he does. I remember this panel, like a lot of artists swiped this. I think I even drew a female figure very similar to that before, but yeah, this looks like lot of artists have swiped that one too. I'm not going to call anyone out, but you know who you are. Every panel is so cool, though. Um, this page in general, I just love it. Like, I would love to own the original art for this page because it's so cool. I love the way he has the entire Gen 13 team framed up here. And I mean, this is just a great, great close up, beautifully rendered. And then you have the very dramatic last panel. Fairchild's pissed. They want to find Lynch. But yeah, so good. I mean, the use of black is just second to none. I mean, that's such a good page. But I could just sit and look at this for a while, and I will do that, and I will let you see it as well. These comics are great. I highly recommend anyone who is a fan of comic art, you need to own these two comics if you don't already. I'm assuming if you're probably watching this video, you own these comics because they're, it's Adam Hughes. I think it's his finest comic, interior work. He's been doing some good stuff lately, and I will do some more videos on Adam's work. There's a lot of word. I feel like, okay, these pages he made, this one especially, I'm sure he did it, very quickly, trying to meet that deadline because there's a lot of text. But it's still awesome. This one too has a lot of dialogue. Jeez. This panel looks maybe a little bit rushed. We put a heavy shadow on it, but I mean, it's still great. And like the figures down here are perfect. Here's a page with some silhouettes, but that's the Wally Wood guide to comics panel. All the whatever 22 panels that always work, or whatever it is. Got to throw in some silhouettes every now and then. It helps create mood and moves the story along. Here's Lynch. This one I'm pretty sure I've sat and drawn like a few times. This figure, I've definitely copied it. But yeah, I mean, when I was younger, trying to figure things out, I did that a lot. It was kind of the way I studied comic art and how I figured out my own style and stuff. And that's just what you do as a young artist. But I definitely remember this one. I definitely swiped that that whole pose. I don't do that anymore. Now I just swipe photos. Nice shot of Lynch here. Definitely I see some Kevin Nolan influence on the inking or the rendering. Well, Mark Farmer inked it, but Adam Hughes, I'm pretty sure back then he was doing some pretty detailed pencil work. So, a lot of cross hatching in these. Let's get a close up. The camera is not wanting to, I guess it's cooperating. Is the glare. But that's a beautiful face. Adam Hughes is great at drawing faces. Here's this is explaining, I think, the monster. And basically it's like a mutant baby or something like that. Here we go with Fairchild talking to Lynch. I love this panel. Really cool lighting on that, and I like the rendering. I even like the little cross hatching he does on the bandage there. The whole thing's cool. This bottom panel is cool of all the Gen 13 kids. I feel like he might have photo referenced some of these faces just from looking at it, but which is cool. It's not a bad thing to photo reference. Just don't rely on it too much, or it becomes a crutch. At least that's what they all the experts will tell you. I apologize if my voice is a little low. One, I had a tooth pulled like yesterday. Well, now it's 2 days ago. But it's also late, and I'm making this video like super late at night, so I don't want to wake anyone up. Hopefully you guys can hear me. But back to the comic. Some awesome close up. This panel's really cool. He's doing a lot of side profile shots of, especially of Fairchild in this issue, I notice. Here's one of Rainmaker with the Native American facial features, looking kind of like Cher. Kind of, right? Yeah, like definitely looking like Cher. I see what you're trying to do, Adam, but I don't know if it worked out. I don't know if it worked that great on her face, but the body is excellent, though. The figure, yeah, so cool. Stupid pen again. I'm all over the place with this. Oh, an ad for body bags. Jason Pearson. That's a comic I want to get into and make a video about, because this is one of the great creator-owned titles from the 90s. Jason Pearson, he was a member of Gaijin Studios, along with Adam Hughes and Brian Stelfreeze and a bunch of other great artists. And yeah, this was a great, I mean, obviously it's known as a great comic, but it's weird because it's a Dark Horse comic, and there's an ad for it in an Image comic, Wildstorm Image, which is kind of weird. But I think it's probably just the Gaijin Studios connection. And yeah, this is a great series. Jason Pearson and Michael Golden did all the covers, which that's amazing too. Yeah, that was a great comic. I'm definitely gonna have to. I have the issue. See, that's the thing. I have the original issues in my collection somewhere. I have no idea where they're at. They're in storage somewhere, and that kind of sucks. I have the trade paperback, but trade paperbacks are not as easy to go through and look at, on camera, because you can't really lay them down like this. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I'll have to find the original issues and take a look at it. But yeah, that's a great comic. But back to this. Here we have nice Rainmaker. This is looking very Disney Pocahontas to me. This image, for some reason. I don't know why. Burnout. He's crying. He's crying. All right, so this page is probably another time crunch. It's nice, but there's not a lot. Not a lot of detail in it. He's trying to get the deadline. I think this thing was like totally didn't make its deadline, so I'm not sure why he was even rushing, if he was, but it looks kind of rushed. I mean, there's not much going on. It's good. Every page is great. I'm just nitpicking, but a lot of text. Wall of text. Yes. But we're here for this. There we go, Adam. Hitting us with the double pager. Get that glare out of my life. Okay, there we go. Lift it up a little bit. We'll do the lift. The lift and pan and scan, or whatever the hell it is called. I always use these big movie director terms that I actually don't know what the hell I'm talking about. It sounded good though. But yeah, that's a cool double pager. I don't know. This is a little weird for me. This doesn't look like Adam Hughes. Like, come on, focus there. It's a little weird to me. Like I feel like the other figures are a lot better. Maybe it was the pencils were a little looser and Mark Farmer had a little more leeway with it. But this is, of course, the excellent leather jacket texture that I just so love from Adam, with all the nice brush work by Mark Farmer. And the colors are beautiful too. They're very simple computer colors, but this was back in it was 96, so it was like in the kind of like the heyday of people, using Photoshop to color comics, and it was obviously a newer way to do things, but they were on the Wildstorm, especially were on the cutting edge. All Image in general, they were on the cutting edge of the computer coloring, and this still holds up to me. Like I would like if my comic was colored like this, I would be very happy. I don't think it's not dated looking. Sometimes the old 90s computer coloring looks very dated and kind of way heavy on like gradients. Here's this is a gradient here on this lettering, but it looks cool. It's not overdone. The colors aren't too bright and garish. They're actually a little bit muted, which I dig. Like even this is like, it's pretty flat. The skin tone. There's a little bit of a gradient on it, but it's not like overdone. There's a lot of flat color, which I like. Not too much on the airbrushing. That's when I think it gets a little out of control. I like this a lot. And of course, it doesn't hurt that it's Adam Hughes art that we're looking at. But anyway, we're getting to the end of the story, and the first issue started out with making it look like Grunge was the one who died. So that was kind of like the beginning of the first issue was, actually the end of the story. Grunge is laying here, but she says, yeah, this is like the exact first splash page of the first issue. I can't believe it. After all we went through, he's dead. And she's talking about the baby, that had turned into a monster. It's kind of a morbid story, Adam. Jeez. And here we go. The last page is just kind of a little, summarizing everything that went up and went down. And, obviously you got your beautiful figure of Caitlin Fairchild, a nice Jeep. If we're going to look at like that, was obviously referenced, but it's very well done. And that is it. They sail off into the sunset in their Jeep. In her Jeep. She's alone. Oh man, Webb versus the Whip. Backlash Spider-Man. I miss Wildstorm. That's one company that, they when Jim Lee sold everything to DC, they just never really did much with it. And they did a little bit at first, and then they had it in like the New 52 and stuff. And they've just kind of let it die, kind of like Marvel did with Ultraverse. There's some letters pages, but from the first issue, yeah. So that's it for the Gen 13 Ordinary Heroes #2. But there's that cover again. I have a little extra, and this is boom, some more sketches. So this is I believe this is like the layout that he did for the trade paperback of the series. It's probably changed a bit in the I don't have the trade paperback, but at least I think that's it. Or it's just like a promo image. I think it's the trade paperback cover, but I think they changed. Well, no, I don't know now. Not sure. Probably should have researched this before I got into it, but hey, whatever. So there's that. amazing as always. And then just also for the Adam Hughes nerds, we have a little leg sketching out a hand. This is a nice pose. There's always these little tidbits in his sketchbooks. He just random eyes and stuff, like very cool. Okay, here's another page of just some figure gestures. Here's a thumbnail for the previous piece. There's a little thumbnail action. So that's how it works. You thumbnail it out. You go to a bigger layout, and then eventually you go to the full size artboard with it. Either some people light box stuff, blow it up and light box it. Nowadays, what I do a thumbnail. I do thumbnails for all my pages and stuff. Then I'll do a layout, probably about this size, maybe like 5x7 or 4 by 6 or something like that. And then I actually will take that layout, scan it in, blow it up in Photoshop, and then I'll print it out as a blue line to the size 11x17 or whatever I'm working. I've been working 9x13 lately to save a little bit of time. And then I will go in, tighten up the pencils a little bit with a blue, non-photo blue pencil lead. And then I will go to inking. So I do a very similar process. And a lot of artists work that way. Here he's working out some, this is kind of cool, just some little, he's got different measurements here of probably paper size that he's going to work on. Because I know Adam works really large. Someday I want to start working larger because you can get, more detail in. It saves on the eyes too. The older you get, your eyes are, your eyes are getting worse. And I work relatively smaller, but I would love to be afforded the time to work on a page. It's like 14x20 or something like that. It would be amazing. But this is a great sketch. Obviously, this is a pencil sketch. It's a photocopy, so it loses a little bit of the smoothness, but it's still awesome. And is this? I don't even know. Is this Fairchild? It might be Wonder Woman. I don't know, but it's a cool sketch. It was in there, and I just figured I'd share it. And I don't know. I haven't seen this one very often online, so this could be. I don't remember what this is. I don't know. I'm almost thinking this is Wonder Woman. There's a Fairchild. It's a lot easier to tell when they have their costume on. Very cool sketch, and I like how he rendered out the legs in shaded it in pencil. She's muscular. Very different than the way they're drawing female superheroes nowadays, which is a shame because this style is a lot of people consider it a little too sexualized, but whatever, it was comics, man. Oh, they're teenagers, you're sexualizing them. Well, were they teenagers? they don't really look like teenagers, but that was okay. It was 1996. And here, this is cool because he's working out the way he's going to draw their aircraft that they fly around in, that they spent a lot of the first issue in, 12 pages was inside their ship. Their little, and this is cool. We have this, he's working out some nice figures here and here. And then you have Grunge doing an armpit fart, from what I can tell. And that is very in line with the character's personality. Here's just some more random sketches of the aircraft. And it's, pretty simple. But it's just cool to see his thought process going into this comic. And that is all for the sketches. But I thought it was cool to go through this comic and share a few more sketches too, because that's, always fun to take a look at. So if you guys liked this video, I would urge you to leave me a thumbs up. Or if you don't like me, give me a thumbs down, whatever. Please subscribe to the channel if you're a fan of what I'm doing here, showing off comic art, talking about comic art, and celebrating comic art. Please subscribe. Leave a comment. Any little thing you do to interact with my videos helps me, you know, trick the algorithm a little bit and get some more people looking at these videos, because that's, the whole point is to get more people involved so that we can have conversations about comic art. I love comic art, and I'm sure if you're watching this, you do too. And I thank you, everyone, for watching, for subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye. I did a bye-bye there instead of just bye. The double bye. See ya.